welcome back to my live stream. We're gonna do WWE Monday Night Raw review, July 13, 2026. While we talk about Monday Night Raw tonight and the news and rumors and what happened on the show, we're gonna play. While I'm talking, I'm gonna be playing NBA 2K26, my career on the PS5. So we're gonna talk about Monday Night Raw. This is Jacob Cast 2024. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comment section below if y'all want to see more. This video was sponsored by JD from New York, selling off the sound off Fightful Pro Wrestling, and other podcasters and YouTubers that I know of. This live stream will be about an hour and 10 minutes. Well, what happened on Monday Night Raw? There's also some news and rumors. Big Cass returns set. Big Cass might make a return to the company. Now, what happened on Monday Night Raw was a very short, slow show. I mean, yeah. So Monday Night Raw was very short. Now the show opened up with Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi. Oba Femi attacked the police in front of Brock Lesnar and walked to Hell in a Cell. Paul Heyman came out there, was speaking for Brock. Brock out the ring. Oba beats up the police guards, police officers. I can't wait for this match at Hell in a Cell. There's also a behind the scenes of CM Punk winning the WWE title last week on Raw. As you guys know, Survivor Series is set for Dagan Park in Houston, Texas on Saturday, November 28th. And we are going to have War Games again. Based on what we saw here tonight, I think we all know what the War Games going to look like. Alright, anyway, like I said, the show opened up with Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi. Then we got the Judgment Day. They unleashed a post-match assault on Io Sky. Io Sky defeated Roxanne in a pretty decent match. Judgment Day unleashed her. They attacked her. They beat her up. We did see Sawuka get involved and try to help, but Raquel took her out. A visit takedown. They could be setting up Raquel and Sawuka for the IC title. But yeah, Judgment Day stood tall. They beat down Io Sky. Liv and Io, their feud being built up for SummerSlam. Now, the other storyline development was Division. Maxine Dupree brought Otis Feeling to help Division decimate Alpha Academy. Now, she got booed when she came out with Division, crowd chant, "You sold out." That she turned on Otis and Akira Tozawa and Otis. And she with Division, she with Austin Theory. Now, they're clearly going to set up a tag team match for the tag team titles with Otis and Akira Tozawa against Division. What have they done with Braun Breaker? He's stuck in the tag team champion with Austin Theory. Logan Paul still hurt. Braun Breaker's not going to be no world champion. He's not going to be no main event scene anytime soon. Maybe until Logan Paul heals up or if Bronson Reed comes back, I don't know. But yeah, it was a very long segment, very lengthy one with this storyline with Maxine. She left the Alpha Academy, she with Division. Paul Heyman wasn't out there. We actually saw Paul Heyman backstage talking to Division. Paul Heyman might not, I don't think Paul Heyman is even needed with Division. Because he with Brock Lesnar. But that wasn't the only storyline development. The other storyline development was the Bloodline. We got Voice Key and Jimmy Uso again. We saw this match on Friday. We got the match again. Match or whatever. Match ended in a DQ because Jacob Fatu got involved. Voice Key and he brought up with Jimmy Uso leading to an impromptu match. And then we got the match, and then Fatu got involved, caused the DQ. He beat out Roy Key. Solo got involved. Solo tried to join the Bloodline. We don't know where Jey Uso is. Is he still hurt? Is he taking time off? We could see him this week. But Solo at to join the Bloodline, and then he hit Jimmy with the Solo Spike. Is Solo Sikoa gonna turn babyface? I don't know who's heel and babyface. It looked like Jimmy and Jacob Fatu are the heels, and Royce Keith the babyface. LA Knight, he's the babyface because he's beloved with the crowd. Solo, that's the entertaining. I think Solo turned babyface because because we know that LA Knight, Royce Keith, they helped clear the ring after Solo tricked the Bloodline. So they're clearly setting up a six-man tag probably next week with the Bloodline, the Usos, and Fatu against Solo, Royce Keith, and LA Knight. LA Knight says sick of dealing with the Bloodline. He wants to end this. He wants them all in the ring. Everything that we saw here, they're clearly building up War Games. If they announce Survivor Series War Games, now we are in July. We gotta wait till November. We are clearly gonna get the Bloodline. It's gonna be another Bloodline Civil War. It's gonna be the OG Bloodline against the other Bloodline. It might be Solo, Royce Keith, and LA Knight. Maybe one of the Tongas. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, after that we got Live without Kira and Bailey, and they had a face-to-face, and they're down. So they announced the match for Saturday Night Main Event. Live without Kira beat down Bailey before their class at Saturday Night Main Event. So that's the other match that's gonna be on that show after this week on Saturday, on the 18th. So can't wait for that. Live was a heel, Bailey the babyface, decent little beatdown against this filler match on this filler feud at Saturday Night Main Event. They said that Roman Reigns would be there with Jalen Brunson, who of the New York Knicks, who won the NBA championship. So they'll be on Saturday Night Main Event. We'll see what happens there. We also got the Gauntlet match. Dominic Mysterio steals a win over Joe Hendry, and then I think Dominic at the he won, and then Javon Evans he beat Dominic with the help of Danhausen. He cursed Dominic, and then Javon Evans rise above Dragon Lee. Danhausen helped Javon Evans defeat Dominic Mysterio, and then we got Javon Evans and Dragon Lee. Evans rise above Dragon Lee in a very good match. It was short. A lot of it was short. And then Rusev, he conquered Javon Evans. Chad Gable comes out. He overcomes Rusev. Win with a roll-up. And then then the last match was Chad Gable and Ethan Page. Chad Gable defeated Ethan Page to win number one contender. It was Chad Gable and Penta for the Intercontinental Championship. They already made it official for SummerSlam. It was a very good tournament, a lot of good performances. Chad Gable was the white winner. It made sense. There was no one else. Chad Gable was the white guy to win. There was no one else that would win in this tournament other than Chad Gable. It made sense. His hometown is in Minneapolis, and it's not Minneapolis, and he's gonna win his first championship in SummerSlam. I think it makes sense. Penta's had it for a while. Now they are two baby faces. Punk and Cody are two baby faces, so you can have two baby faces if the storyline there, if it makes sense. I think it's time for Chad Gable to win his first championship after all these years, after over a decade being with the company. I'm looking forward to it. Chad Gable was so great and he's so talented. He was over tonight. Crowd loved it. And after that, we got the segment that closed the show, the contract signing with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. They both signed the contract. They both exchanged words. We got a brawl. They were pretty good. Okay. Seth Rollins stood tall in that brawl, by the way.
I recently went through something that completely changed.
Hold on.
Kayak told me hotel prices just dropped.
Hey, what the hell?
The Ric Flair promo.
Walk down here, get smacked back to factory settings. We can. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins contract signing. Rollins gloated about the song drowning out the OTC chants. He said there's 3 things certain: death, taxes, and Seth Rollins beating Roman Reigns. He signed the contract, and then Roman Reigns called Seth Rollins a hater, said it's the only thing Rollins is number 1 at. And then Rollins thanked Reigns for keeping the title warm for him. Rollins said he'll see Reigns next time Reigns wants to hand it to them in the
What the hell? Oh, whoops. My bad. Hold on a second.
And having an amazing time, and they're really into this, and they want to see me win. The problem is that the people.
But what if they just would have been like, you know what, you're right. You got a boyfriend. Main event. I've watched that show. They haven't wrestled on.
Did Roman Reigns just bury Seth Rollins? Kind of. Acknowledging it bit. Can Seth Rollins ever be number 1? Okay.
We thank you, and we will now bid you all.
Because those things hold what lot Oregon. Every fake number ever on television or anything always starts with 555.
I get those numbers a lot when I was younger.
Oh, man. Anyways, it's good to have you on, Sancho, and I'm very interested to get your thoughts on today's edition of Monday Night Raw, especially because both you and I also last week, we were both on vacation when the big thing happened of CM Punk becoming champion, and I thought to myself, I can't believe this happened on the day that both Sancho and I are out of the office. But anyways, we're back, and today we got, I would say the biggest thing was a couple of things. But I want to start off with the Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins confrontation today because, damn, Roman Reigns kind of said some things to Seth Rollins where I thought, yo, how are you going to come back from this? And even though Seth Rollins cut a very passionate promo afterwards, I still thought, dude, all the things that Roman Reigns said about you are still lingering in the back of my mind.
It was great. It just shows you when 2 performers have the complete trust in each other and they're willing to be vulnerable and let each other go to places where no other talent can go. It made me go, man, these were the things that I wanted out of Cody versus Randy Orton. These were the things that I kind of hoped that we got out of CM Punk and Roman, but now we're getting it here with Rollins and Roman Reigns, and it's really awesome. And I did like all the things. My favorite Roman is the mugging, like the mogging Roman, you know, the one that's out there and just throwing he's pompous, he doesn't care, everybody is all plebs to him. And then the moment that Rollins was able to turn that around and was like, yeah, dude, you don't think all these things you're saying that I'm number 2, that I will never be you, that I will never have the face of the company, I will never make your money, you don't think I haven't been telling myself these things in the past 15 years? So there's nothing you can say that's going to hurt me. All that stuff is, Denise, your bangs look great.
I'm sorry. It's because I was trying to fix them. Were they distracting you?
No, I'm just saying they look great.
I was trying to fix them while you were talking. I was trying to make it nonchalant. You weren't supposed to notice.
I was infatuated. I'm like a moth to the flame. But yes, W's all around. But we still have 3 weeks. I didn't mind them brawling. I thought that was an organic brawl. I'm happy there wasn't no fake security or fake cops out there like they had earlier today. I didn't like it. I'm happy there wasn't no long drawn out things. It was really good. Yeah, they both are farmers. We're Just get used to that. It's going to take them like 20 minutes to get in the ring because we went over 15 minutes. But other than that, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be one of my favorite matches at SummerSlam. And it's like so good, Denise. I want 3 matches, but I know we won't get that.
So I wasn't that keen when this match was made on Seth versus Roman. Like, I knew this was a lot of people's cup of tea, but it really wasn't mine. I had told everybody I wasn't really like a Shield fan.
You had that LA Knight mentality, right? When LA, hey, brother, you want to have a match, brother? Yeah, brother, let's go ahead.
Definitely not.
Yes, you were. Come on.
Definitely not. But here's the deal. Like, I didn't really care. Like, I wasn't the biggest person that was, like, the biggest fan of the Shield. So I really didn't care about this match. But I got to tell you, after today's promo, I care a lot more. So I actually consider that a big win. Because I started thinking to myself, damn, Roman Reigns, you really roasted Seth Rollins. Where now, if Seth Rollins loses to Roman Reigns, I kind of would feel bad for Seth Rollins. I mean, he basically told him, like, dude, you still need the Money in the Bank championship to get there, and you had to fake an injury just to win the championship. And he's calling this man out and saying, oh, they gave you everything that I was doing. They gave you all the recipe, and you still couldn't be that guy. You were still number 2. And I thought to myself, dude, stop it. He's dead already. And I felt bad for Seth Rollins, but I'm under the assumption that Roman Reigns is defeating Seth, but after today's promo, I got a question mark above my head.
I like that that line that he did say, like you said, you were given everything. He was given Paul Heyman. So I like Roman's promo. I like what he did, and yeah, it's good. But you can't get there without trust. Like, I think Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton wanted to get there, but they didn't trust each other. Because, when Tiffy comes out and hitting that, your record outside of the ring in marriages and whatnot was yikes, right? You go too deep. So I like it when you're at this level, and I like it that it's not surface level. And that's you know what I mean? That's like you could easily gone surface level with, like, hey, they're beat the drum of the Shield, talk about Cody and finishing the story and Seth beating there. But I was surprised that they were able to find a different layer in this feud that I was not expecting them to find.
And they need to do that. They need to do that. And they need to keep it going. And I like the personal shots. And I like this messy, oh, my God, he really said that. How's he going to bounce back? Oh, my God, that was embarrassing. Because it gets you feeling things. And when you start feeling things like, ooh, damn, and all of those kinds of emotions, then you start to get naturally invested. Like I said, I wasn't as invested before. I kind of am now. So I would say that overall, good stuff there with the contract signing. And I was a little nervous, too. I wasn't really sure, like, if I was going to be into it or not. There was a lot of other things that I kind of thought they dropped the ball on in this show, especially earlier on. So I was a little bit worried there for a second. But we do got Jacob Tatum here. Hey, Jacob. He says, which brand should Zilla Fatu start in WWE? Expected to sign? And do you think he should be involved in the Bloodline storyline if he goes to the main roster instantly or gets involved down the line? So here's the thing, Sancho. Now, I know this is where your boy is shining, so I know you probably like this far more than I do, but I do not care about this subplot bloodline drama right now with Jacob and Solo and Jimmy and Royce Keys and LA Knight. I'm sorry. I was so not interested in this. I hated the match that they did, Royce Keys and Jimmy Uso on SmackDown. And when I saw that they were running this back again, I thought to myself, no, I cannot sit here through this again. They added all the extra shenanigans with Jacob Fatu, still having that doubt in his face. He doesn't really know. I don't really know what the hell is going on with that guy. Like, one minute you think he has a plan up his sleeve, and the next I'm like, nope, he's been completely brainwashed by Roman Reigns. And then you have Solo Sikoa, who was pretty funny in some of these bits here, but I'm sorry, this is not for me. It is boring right now with that. I don't care, and it's taken away from Jacob Fatu. And I know your boy LA Knight is in this, but like, damn. And one more thing, I did not think this was a SummerSlam match. I thought that this was a Saturday night's main event match. I'm sorry.
Why do you hate LA Knight so much?
I don't hate LA Knight. I hate the whole storyline.
He actually nailed this promo, knocked it out of his park, stood tall, had the chair in his hand, was able to look like a leader, the chief LA Knight. and you said it was boring. And
I'm talking about what we saw
and
here today.
Solo acknowledged that I came back here to acknowledge the family, to return to the family, does the salute, the pop that Solo got when he acknowledged everybody, and then Solo does this, and then he thumbs his older brother. Nothing.
To be fair, Dallas was reacting to pretty much everything today, which good job, Dallas. I did like Dallas as a crowd.
They didn't like the Maxine thing, but it took them a while.
Oh, we'll talk about that in a second, baby. We'll get there. We'll get there.
I don't know what LA Knight has to do in your eyes to finally like him. I don't know. At this point, you're just,
but
you know what?
I'm not just talking
like
about LA
Roman
Knight here.
Reigns said,
I'm talking about
you
the whole
are a number one
Sancho.
LA Knight hater. Congratulations.
Sancho, I'm talking about the entire storyline. The whole storyline stinks.
Let's see. Denise Salcedo's bio on X. Let's see. What does it say?
It says, I'm the greatest and Sancho West eats rotten eggs.
Host plus producer at, what was it? Instant
What does
Culture.
my Twitter bio have anything to do with
Wire
this?
Pause. Hold on, I'm getting there. At Busted Open Radio, at SiriusXM.
This feels weird.
I love
Taylor
Taylor
Swift.
It's all public. I love Taylor Swift. 250K YouTube subs and 146 million viewers.
That.
Team Denise at email.
Now my email too. You're putting there.
Hold on. I see.
Where are you going with this?
You need to add number one LA Knight hater. You need to add number one LA.
I'm not the number one LA Knight hater. I just don't like the entire storyline. But to answer Jacob Fatu's question, I said Jacob Fatu. I'm sorry, Jacob Tatum. I called you Jacob Fatu. My apologies.
Jacob.
To answer Jacob's question about Zilla Fatu, that's what I wanted to say. Raw or SmackDown, I guess it doesn't matter because this storyline is bleeding off on both shows.
One hater. I think the best place is to put him on Raw to get him next to Roman. That's like the easiest thing to get him over. He's going to have that aura farmer. The aura farmer of the nebulous cloud of Roman Reigns would have a parade float of other people, kind of like a whale on the barnacles. You know that?
Yeah. Are you talking about Barnacle Boy?
Yeah, that's what Zilla Fatu is going to have, that barnacle power.
Barnacle Boy
What
power.
did you just Google? You Google my profile?
No, actually, I'm not Googling your profile.
Number one LA Knight lover.
Really? That's what you want your bio to say? Number one LA Knight lover?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to go, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Dummy. Thank you, Jacob. No, I was pulling up the card for the next super chat here, which was from the Juan G Show. Hey, Juan, thank you for the support, man. He says, how do you think they structure the Saturday night's main event card? Is Roman acknowledging Jalen Brunson, the main event? Also, does Brunson acknowledge Danhausen? I need to see Roman and Danhausen together in the same ring. I got to give WWE props, man. They were able to get Jalen Brunson as part of this show. I don't know what exactly he's going to be doing or what the deal is, but the fact that they got him there, that is a huge dub because right now he's like literally the most famous man in New York. So congratulations on that.
Mayor, yeah.
Congratulations on that, honestly. But how do they do this show? Like, what exactly do we get? Because I know that Danhausen is kind of being, like, the thing feels like it's marketed around him. He's on the poster. He's facing J.D. McDonough, so he has a match on top of that. And we also have the women's tag match. And then we have Bayley versus Lyra, who I think should be on the SummerSlam card. So I hope this ends in a no contest or some bullshit so we can get a stipulation match on SummerSlam. But then we also have the Can They Coexist match with CM Punk, Cody versus Gunther and Sami Zayn. So what do you see happening here, Sancho?
Obviously, the two titles will main event, right? Or the Cody and CM Punk and Gunther, Sami, that main event. I think the whole Roman and Brunson thing is just WWE Club. They even photoshopped the WWE Club, the Club WWE member on Brunson. That's just going to be a plug for that.
I didn't even notice that. Are you serious?
I wish Danhausen was main eventing, though. He deserves it to main event in New York City for all that he's done. I think that's opening. But yeah, I always feel like Saturday's main event is just a stepping stone to something bigger. And I don't think you're gonna get like ending, like definitive endings. And then even Lyra and Bayley, I think Bayley does win that because Lyra is going to be the one chasing going forward. As I don't know what Lyra, she's molting, she's a bird, she's losing her feathers. But overall, I think for me, when I looked at that card, I was like, this is a weird card. It doesn't feel like a Madison Square Garden guard. Like, it doesn't have that boom, that one. Like, imagine if they added a Brock Lesnar and Obafemi match here just to get us going, not necessarily be the Hell in a Cell. But what if the Hell in a Cell was here? That'd be amazing.
Yo, and then we could have still gotten Oba getting his little title shot over at SummerSlam, but whatever.
They confirmed that whole thing that we were arguing about 2 weeks ago that we were trying to say.
I know.
That Paul Heyman said that Oba's dumb, that he forgone his championship title shots because he's obsessed. Call him obsessed girlfriend. Hey, there's obsessed boyfriends out there too, brother. And that Oba is dumb essentially. And I was like, what is Paul? I know you're a heel, but you're bearing Oba's intelligence here. It's kind of crazy.
Okay, well, let's get into that. Thank you, Juan. Let's get into that because here's the deal. There was aspects of Brock and Oba that I did enjoy here today. But then there was other parts that I thought to myself, what are we doing here? What is going on? So the things I liked and didn't like. One, I just like seeing Brock and Oba out there together because
the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, it feels good, right? It's exciting. You're like, oh, we're interested. We're locked in. We're very much looking forward to the SummerSlam match. So all of that is good. But the parts that I did not like was primarily them doing the no-touch thing, where I hope that's not, because they had said, like, oh, the restraining order is not legit, so I hope that writes off the idea of doing the no-touch thing. So I hope they don't go with that. I hope they don't lean into that, because I want physicality in Brock and Oba heading into SummerSlam, because here's the thing, like, if it was the first match, okay, I get it. You want to build the suspense up until they finally lock up and they touch, right? But we've already seen them wrestle. We already know what it looks like. So what I want now is physical violence. I want blood. Well, maybe not blood, but okay, fine. I want blood. I just want like a brawl. I want attacks. I want them to get like physically creative with what they're doing. I didn't like Paul Heyman's promo either. I felt like he was kind of talking in circles because he had said that Obafemi was this crazy stalker ex-girlfriend that was obsessed with Brock, and I'm thinking to myself, but Brock's the one who attacked him. Like, Obafemi was already kind of moving on. Yes, he had mentioned him in promos, but for the most part, he was ready to move on. And then when he brought up the fact that he had forgone a championship match and called him stupid for doing that, I thought to myself, well, that wasn't the smartest thing that Obafemi did, so in a way, I'm kind of agreeing with you, Paul, and I don't like that. Then the last thing was, then he ran it back, and he went back, and he said, oh, well, you know what? Brock Lesnar's obsessed with Obafemi. And I'm thinking, okay, so they're both obsessed with each other. Got it.
And then it led to the fake in Paul Heyman's and Adam Pearce's reveal that they are not real cops. I feel like every now and then the WWE wants to tap into the Attitude Era intensity, and it never really gets there. I think like with the WWE's back in the day, they would have, instead of 5 cops, they would have 50. Because I remember when we were talking, Santi and I were talking about Gunther. Where does Gunther go after this whole thing with Cody, Sammy, and CM Punk? Where does Gunther go? Nick Aldis? And I think I heard you guys talking about it. He can't lose against Nick Aldis if that's going to be the thing. So where does he go? He's still going to be this heel that has no target.
With Kalshi, you can make predictions on anything, right from the palm of your hand.
Sounds great. But only goalies can use their hands.
I was thinking that Braun Breaker should have defeated Seth Rollins in that whole thing, but now we know why. Seth Rollins was moving on to Roman Reigns, and it's clear that there was no additional plan for Braun Breaker afterwards, which is a bummer. This is a serious bummer. Like, I'm sorry, but I saw Braun Breaker in a similar light to where, like, Obafemi's at right now, and they're nowhere near each other anymore.
Remember that Royal Rumble? He got eliminated by Oba? And we thought that maybe that was going to be a run back, and what happened?
Yeah. Damn. We got McTaro here. It says, Sancho, you have the audacity to go through Denise's Twitter. Damn. The audacity, okay?
Nutty.
The audacity.
I can only say I've worked a lot of and, you know, get Mattel there and get, Funko there and, you know,
he endorses Obafemi. I still think there's a high likelihood of that happening. I don't think we need to worry about Saudi paydays.
It would have cost me. We've all been beat to crown a #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. I said this last week. WWE had one job. this was going to be the easiest thing for them to do on the road to SummerSlam, more than any other decision that they have to make between now and the beginning of August. A very simple decision is to make sure that Chad Gable comes out of this gauntlet as the number one contender, and we set up Gable and Penta for the Intercontinental title on that show, and that's what they did. We had, what was it, 7 men in this gauntlet match tonight, and we got the right outcome. Chad Gable will challenge Penta for the title, his first potential singles championship in all the years that he has been in this company. Over a decade. You want to go back to the NXT years, and he is on the cusp. He's on the verge of winning his first singles title in an age where people win titles all the time. It's pretty insane to think that Chad Gable has yet to hold a singles championship in his career. Hopefully that will change. I love Penta, but that shit's got to change in Minneapolis. So I was very happy to see that. That was the easiest choice Triple H is going to make all SummerSlam season. They also set up another match for the PLE, which is one that I've been talking about. It seemed pretty obvious that we were headed for a 6-man tag, and now we know for a fact that we are getting a 6-man tag. It is going to be Jacob Fatu and the Usos. Jey Uso has not been on the show for 2 weeks now. Ever since all that news broke about him and his personal life on TMZ, we have not seen Jey Uso. He's got to get his own house in order first, I guess. But he has a SummerSlam match. It's going to be him and Jimmy and Jacob taking on LA Knight, Royce Keys, and I guess the newly babyface, Solo Sikoa. Because based on what he did on the show tonight, it sure felt like this was supposed to be a babyface turn. I don't know if the crowd took it that way. It's not like it got some big reaction. But they did set the 6-man tag up for that show. And I'm actually wondering, as I look back on the reaction to the announcement of it, because it was LA Knight who had the mic in his hand and made the announcement. I wonder if the people in the building in Dallas tonight thought they were getting the match tonight, only to find out, no, it's going to happen at SummerSlam. Because, it's the sort of match that you would expect to get on TV and not at SummerSlam. But it always felt like these guys have nothing else to do on that show if you don't put them in a 6-man tag. What else logically would they even be doing at SummerSlam, right? They've all been beefing with each other now for weeks. This seemed to be the direction that made the most sense. So now we get Solo Sikoa in a bit of a different role for a change. No longer with the MFTs, no longer with the Bloodline, on his own. Having to associate now with LA Knight, that could make for some interesting television. I'm game for anything different. I think that there's a great baby face. Not deep. It's there. It kind of bubbles up every now and then, but buried within Solo Sikoa is a great baby face run. And I hope we get the chance to see that. Unfortunately, we also had some terrible television tonight, because there was a horrible segment. While it did further things along for another potential SummerSlam match for the World Tag Team titles, we'll see if we end up getting that on the PLE or if they do it on Raw. We had a segment with Maxine Dupree, Austin Theory, Braun Breaker, and Logan Paul. They were out there taking a victory lap. Otis and Tozawa. We got acting on the show, and not very good acting. We had some drama. Why, Maxine? Why? This is what Otis and Tozawa wanted to know. Why? We tried to warn you. We tried to warn you that this man was no good. He's bad news. Very melodramatic. I'll tell you what is really just confounding to me is that we are potentially on the verge of getting an announcement that Braun Breaker is going to SummerSlam and is going to be involved in a match against Tozawa. Yes. This appears to be the SummerSlam direction for Braun Breaker. What have they done to Braun Breaker? We got a tease of a return to WWE because nothing can be kept secret anymore. We got a tease for Big Cass on his way back to WWE. No Enzo. Not yet. It's early yet. But we got the date, August 3rd, which is the Monday after SummerSlam. He's coming back. With any luck, it would be for a singles run. But I have a feeling this was only the first tease. There'll be a tease for his tag team partner probably coming next week. And it'll all build to August 3rd. So we got our first vignette for that. We're going to run through this entire Raw show. We'll go through the whole thing, all for you guys. I am the Solemn Monster. Thank you for joining me here. It is a Monday night, July 13th, 2026. And boy, you know, that's July 13th. I did not realize that until just now. I attended my very first live Monday Night Raw 28 years ago tonight. On this very day. Got to meet Mick Foley and Owen Hart. Boy, that was a fun show. That was a fun, man, those days were wild. The summer of 98. Oh, what a time. Super chats are open, so if you get them on in, I'll be reading all of your messages. If you got questions, get them on in. If you want to support, get them on in. And we'll hang out and we'll have some fun. And with any luck, we will hit our goal for tonight. Let's find out what that goal is going to be. We had quite a bit of fun last week. All week long, really, would be the booker. Will we be booking anything tonight? That's what we're going to find out. Let's take her for a spin. Spin it long, spin it hard. Here we go. Highway to Hell, that's right. 390. Okay, is that a 9? That is a 9. 390, it's kind of tiny there on my screen. 390, all right, 390 likes is the goal for tonight. You guys know what to do. We're already at 244. I don't think that's too unreasonable. And maybe we will do some B2B a little bit later on. We're going to talk about a different B. We're going to talk about Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. They were the ones who opened the show tonight. And Brock has a brand new t-shirt that I'm sure is, I haven't checked, but I'm sure it's up right now on WWE Shop. Talk shit, get hit. And they had a group of police officers walking behind them as they made their way down to the ring. They stood guard at ringside. They basically formed a human wall. And the fans were chanting for Obafemi. So Heyman did his usual intros, introduced all the Dallas police officers outside the ring. And he said that Obafemi turned down a championship match with either champion because he is just that obsessed with Brock Lesnar. He goes, that is stalker level. Heyman called Oba the biggest dummy that he's ever met. He said Oba turned down a title match to come after Brock like a psycho ex-girlfriend. He said Lesnar is obsessed with Oba, which scares him half to death. He said he called Lesnar when he was out hunting. And he's obsessed with Obafemi. So he said he went to WWE officials. He requested a no-touch clause, but it took a lot of lawyers. He said he went to a judge in Dallas. He got a restraining order against Obafemi. He said he got another restraining order against his own client. This was news to Brock Lesnar. He looked over at Heyman and was like, what? What are you talking about? But he said that Lesnar is a law-abiding citizen who would abide by the rules of the restraining order. So the lights went dark. This brought out Obafemi. And the police officers, they got into the ring. They stood in front of Heyman and Lesnar. Oba told Heyman, explain what the hell this is. So Heyman said that Oba violated a restraining order, and he told the cops to go do your job. So they exited the ring, Lesnar and Heyman did. Oba, he grabs one of these cops, and he just hurls him out over the top rope. And usually there's somebody there to catch them. There ain't nobody there on the outside. He just threw him out of the ring, and he crashed and burned on the floor. Then he grabbed two of them, double choke slam. There was another one in there. He picked him up, and you know how he throws people halfway across the ring? He chucked this guy out of the ring. And at least with him, they have the other cops out there to catch him and break his fall. So he wiped out all of the phony cops that were at ringside. And so at that point, it was time for Oba to speak, and he took issue with Heyman calling him stupid for giving up his title match. Oba said they both know that had he gone for a championship, had he gone ahead and challenged either champion, which is what he was entitled to do, at SummerSlam, he said that, that Brock would have cost me the match. Doesn't sound like much of a ruler, does it? This guy's supposed to be the ruler. He's the king. He doesn't sound very sure of himself. I gave away my guaranteed championship match for SummerSlam because I just knew that your guy was going to interfere and fuck it up for me. What a stupid fucking thing to say. Weeks after the fact. Oh my God. Oba said Lesnar can no longer run from him inside Hell in a Cell. No more BS, no more low blows. Basically, at SummerSlam, this gets settled. I will say this, always great intensity from Oba. He was on point. I thought it was a great promo outside of that one stupid line there. So, great stuff from Oba otherwise. He looked like a world beater out there throwing guys around. The explanation, though, about why he sacrificed his SummerSlam title shot, we still have no clarity, by the way, on whether or not he actually completely ditched his championship match, and that means he gets no title match, and he's going to have to win the Royal Rumble or something now, or if he's just kind of tucking it away for a later date. Because I mentioned this on the podcast last week. They have their own official WWE post show after Raw. I don't know if it's live, but it's got Sam Roberts and Megan Morant, and I didn't hear it for myself, but I had somebody mention it, and then I read part of what they said. And the night that happened, they were talking about it as if Brock and Oba was basically, it wasn't just replacing Oba's title match at SummerSlam. Oba basically gave it away. It's not like, it's in my back pocket, I can take it out whenever I want. They were talking about it as if he sacrificed his title shot for the right to go after this man. Which, if you think about it, the stipulation was that you're guaranteed a championship match at SummerSlam, right? It is specifically for SummerSlam. So, without WWE clarifying things here, and even Paul Heyman has used language that would suggest that he gave it up completely. But I can't say that 100% for fact because WWE just hasn't clarified it yet. But, him coming out here, first of all, this is coming a few weeks late. If he was going to argue this, then this should have been said weeks ago. That's number one. But it's like, he's coming out here and saying, that if I would have gone ahead with my championship match, that your client would have cost me. And I'm just sitting here and I'm listening to this and I'm going, yeah, you big dummy, because you're the one who came out on television week after week and poked the bear. You're the one who came out on television week after week after he beat you at Clash in Italy and called him all kinds of names. You called him a coward. You called him a bitch. You questioned his manhood every single week. So if he did come out and cost you, you would have nobody to blame but yourself. There's just no way of explaining this in a way that makes Obafemi look good. And at this point, you may as well not even address it. If you're going to address it, you address it in week 1. You don't address it 2 or 3 weeks later. What a stupid fucking thing to say. But in any event, it is what it is. It's done. What's done is done, and we have our Hell in a Cell match for SummerSlam, and at this point, that's all that matters. But I'm listening to what he's saying here, and I'm like, if you're so concerned about this man getting involved in your business, maybe don't go out on television and call him out and call him all kinds of insults, right? You're only inviting trouble by doing that. You would have gotten exactly what you deserved. Meanwhile, you went through this entire King of the Ring tournament. He never showed up, right? He never popped up even once. Well, I just decided to give it away because I knew you would fuck it up for me. See, he's playing 3D chess. I didn't want to give you the chance to mess up my title opportunity, so I just gave away my title opportunity. Good job there, buddy. Michael Cole was hyping up what he called a multi-week series on the history of the Shield to build to the Rollins and Reigns title match at SummerSlam. They also mentioned that Roman Reigns, this was announced earlier, is going to be at Saturday night's main event, but he is not coming alone. He will be there as well as Jalen Brunson of the New York Knicks, who just underwent surgery on his wrist. The NBA champion, Jalen Brunson. So they're going to be together at Saturday night's main event this weekend. We had Io Sky and Roxanne Perez one-on-one. Roxanne had Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez with her. Io landed a springboard moonsault out on the floor, and she tossed Roxanne back inside. Liv Morgan distracted Io as she was trying to get back in the ring, and Roxanne was able to blindside her heading into a commercial. So we come back. Roxanne is got her all tied up in a tree of woe, kicking at the knee. But it just felt to me like they were stalling, like she was just stalling like crazy. I kind of gave you the nuts and bolts of what happened here, and you guys can fight. And so the match started during commercial. When they came back, it was joined already in progress.
PetSmart Charities and Health Science Diet invite.
With Chime, you bank fee-free.
I'm gonna hope and pray in these next, let's see, August, September, October, November, these next 4 months, the show actually improves and gets better. But no question about it, I will be there at Survivor Series. I will find a way to be there. If I have to sit in the upper echelon.
And that's another thing I don't really like, Heyman, Mr. Wrestling Booker, the way he's just back with Brock, none of that made any sense to me. At least with Roman, there was a turn at WrestleMania a couple years ago where, he left Roman Reigns officially, but, when he got with Roman Reigns, he never really officially left Brock. He just showed up as Reigns' manager now. And then when Brock came back, that was the problem, and then Heyman stuck with Roman, but then there was a couple of times there where Heyman and Brock were just like randomly back together, and now they're back together again. The whole thing is just confusing to me. I don't understand, how did he even become the advocate again? How did he regain his advocatehood? His federalehood. How did he get that back? Did they just have text messages? Hey, let's be friends again? I don't know. All was weird to me. But, the Vision segment was very long, and I'm laughing my notes. I'm like, why? And when I was typing, I'm like, I am writing way too much shit about Maxine. This is just too much. I got 3 paragraphs of shit here that went down in this segment, and this took up a huge chunk of the show. And by this point, we had only had 1 match. So this entire segment came to an end, I think, after the top of the first hour, which means we only got 1 match in that first hour, and that was Io Sky and Roxanne Perez. So after the Vision shit happens, we go to commercial, or at least some of us do. Maybe you guys didn't get commercials, but I do. And when we come back from commercial, I had to rewind to make sure I didn't miss anything. We come back to commercial, and we're just joining a match in progress between Royce Keys and Jimmy Uso. And Michael Cole's like, we're joining an impromptu match between Royce Keys and Jimmy Uso. And I'm like, impromptu match? Well, how did it come about? Why is it impromptu? Did something happen backstage? Because that'll happen sometimes. 2 guys are getting a confrontation. Hey, I'll see you out in the ring. And then the general manager is like, yeah, it happens. So was there a segment I missed during commercial that was backstage that set this up? We just joined this shit, this impromptu match, in progress. I'm like, what? Why? I didn't even understand any of this. Is SmackDown bullshit, I thought. Well, I guess not really. Royce is on SmackDown, but Jimmy's part of the Bloodline. There's no SmackDown or Raw wrestlers anymore. There's no such thing as a brand split. So I don't even understand why this match is fucking happening. And I know that, Solo Sikoa is a man with no family right now. And he's been having conversations with LA Knight. He's been trying to team up with Royce Keys, and Royce and Jacob have history, and there's all this shit. So anyway, it's Jimmy and Royce Keys, and then the camera cuts to Jacob Fatu, who just arrives to the arena, I guess, and he starts power walking to the ring, right to the ring, and just gets in the ring and attacks both dudes, and just starts beating up, or I guess he attacks Keys. He attacks Royce Keys, not Jimmy. Jimmy's in the Bloodline with him, but he immediately attacks Keys, but he's got that, conflicted look on his face. He's doing the bidding of the Bloodline because he has to, but he doesn't really want to hurt Royce Keys, but he is, and because he has to, or whatever. And that's when, I guess he's got Keys down. Solo Sikoa shows up out of nowhere, says, stop, and gets, I guess...
If you're living with schizophrenia, you may be eligible to...
The high-quality industrial products you need.
Of Brock Lesnar. People mimic. You can't say anything. If you like the show, people will say it's boring, and people will criticize you and call you nasty, mean names on social media with their egg avatars. And if I said the show was boring, and I didn't like the show, and I shit on the show completely, people will be like, oh, well, JD, he complains about everything, JD, from NY0067. You can't win with people. You can't win with people. I feel like I am one of the more honest people here. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. If it's blah or boring, I'll let you know. Tonight was not boring. I didn't find myself bored with much of this show tonight. Was it good? That's subjective. If you thought it was good, great. If you thought it was bad, great. I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was somewhere between good and that very good range. There's a reason why I thought it was good. WWE came out this week. First of all, they had a hot crowd. Dallas was great. Dallas was on top of everything. They were very vocal tonight. They were into a lot of what they were given tonight. And Dallas was a great crowd. WWE was focused tonight because there's a lot of talk, and there is a video from me coming tomorrow. As soon as I wrap up with the coach on the 2 count, I got a video going up for everybody tomorrow afternoon on this SummerSlam ticket dilemma. WWE is looking at less than 30,000 tickets out the door for both nights, and we're 2.5 weeks away from SummerSlam. It's not good. It's not good at all. Whatever the reason is, the main reason is, A, ticket sales are down because the tickets are just too expensive. They're not more expensive than WrestleMania. They're obviously a lot better than WrestleMania. I mean, front row was, for what? WrestleMania was what, $30,000? Easy. Here you're looking at, I saw the ticket chart today, you could still get second row ringside for about $3,500. Still a lot of money. Still money I'm not paying them to watch this fucking slop every week. Especially with a PLE, they're getting worse by the month. Why am I going to give you $3,500 to go sit at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis to do exactly what I would be able to do at home, and that's watch commercials and barely any pro wrestling? Not doing it. Devin says it was up to $40,000 for front row for WrestleMania. That's crazy. That's crazy. If you got that type of money, man, God bless you. You're better off giving it to your favorite content creator so that we could all live in harmonious peace. The ticket sales are still very, very pricey. Outside that, there's this apathetic feeling about the show. Even with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes being announced on Friday for the main event of SummerSlam for the WWE Championship, even with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, and even with Obafemi and Brock Lesnar inside Hell in a Cell, those are 3 big matches. 2 of them are rematches. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes is happening for the first time since both of them have returned to the WWE. And that's a match that I'm highly interested in. Though I didn't like what they did on Friday. The creative, there's this apathetic feel around the creative. Rightfully so. The writing is garbage. The storylines are garbage. Everything, for the most part, has been very boring. You would be correct if you thought the product and the television shows were boring. Because they are. It's obviously written by AI. Everything is just AI-generated slop. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. There's no emotion. There's no feeling. There's no excitement.
WWE is looking at a SummerSlam right now in Minneapolis that is trending way down from last year. And don't give me the excuse, oh, JD, it's in Minneapolis. It's in Minnesota, JD. First of all, I don't look at Minneapolis as a summer destination, number one. Number two, do you realize where they were last year? I don't really consider MetLife Stadium and the fucking cesspool that is Newark, New Jersey, a summer destination either. Have you driven through New Jersey? Have you driven on the New Jersey Turnpike with the windows down on a nice summer day? Please. Give me a fucking break. It smells like shit and fucking sewage. I don't really look at that as a summer destination either, yet they fit 60,000 people. They did 115,000 people combined last year at SummerSlam. So what's the problem this year? What is it? Has the product gotten worse? Yes. Believe it or not, the product is worse than it was last year. I'm looking at in totality for where we are right now, 7.5 months in the year. Looking back at last year in the first 7.5 months of the year, I would say yes. Yes. At least we had John Cena, even though that wasn't lighting the world on fire. They got a big problem. And I said it on Friday. I see other people mimicking what we said on Friday. I came out here on Friday and bluntly told you the reason why they booked Cody Rhodes and CM Punk for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam is because they need to. They have nothing else. This is their last lifeline. They're on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I'm outdating myself. I don't even know if that show's still around. It probably is, but Regis Philbin was the GOAT. This is their last lifeline. Will they be able to get near 35,000 tickets out the door for both nights? Sure. But 70,000, 815,000? They need to. They need to book Punk and Cody. It's not a situation of they have to. They need to. Or they wanted to. They need to. They basically gave you that main event because they are desperate. And I guarantee you, I fucking guarantee you, because the rumors said so. The reports said so. And this is exactly what they were thinking. This was supposed to be at WrestleMania 43. Cody and Punk was supposed to be at WrestleMania 43. It was supposed to be at this year's WrestleMania, but Rollins got hurt. Then they said, you know what, we'll just do it next year in Saudi Arabia. Now they're doing it in Minneapolis. And I guarantee you that if WWE was nearing 115,000 tickets out the door for SummerSlam this year, there is a high probability that Sami Zayn would still be the WWE champion. Because ticket sales or no ticket sales, Sami Zayn beating Cody Rhodes was the right decision. But looking at the landscape of SummerSlam, they took the belt off Sami Zayn in 9 days, put it on CM Punk because it's better than Cody beating Sami Zayn, so they had CM Punk do it because it would have been a negative shitstorm for Triple H and his creative. So they give you this match because they need to. Tell me when I am telling any lies, chat. This is exactly what it is. Do not, and I urge you, do not listen to anybody tell you otherwise. Said it on Friday. First thing I did was come on here and speak to you for 30 minutes, and I gave you exactly what the reasoning was. Absolutely. 100%. We got a bomb in the chat. Look at this fucking guy, man. Listen, man, we're rocking and rolling. We're rocking and rolling over here, man. We got a $100 super chat from my guy, Beantown 8025. He says, JD, just wanted to send this bomb as I appreciate OTS no matter how bad wrestling has been this year, especially with creative. Even though Raw was actually good tonight, I know OTS will always be a great show, so thanks to JD for all that you do. Look at this fucking round of applause. This fucking guy. Beantown! Thank you, brother. I see you on the Patreon side of things as well, man. I appreciate you and all of your support and everybody's support. Thank you guys very much. That is the reason why WWE booked Cody Rhodes and CM Punk for SummerSlam. Tonight they were focused. We got Oba and Brock in the comical way that Oba, if this doesn't take Oba off of television at least till SummerSlam, I don't know, man. I know it's pro wrestling and it's all carny business and it's all fucking nonsense, but the guy supposedly threw Dallas PD over the top rope in a situation where he assaulted Dallas police officers out there with Paul Heyman. Now, I know that there really isn't a lot left to do with Obafemi and Brock Lesnar, but that's a typical WWE trope. You got two guys like Brock and Oba, let's get some police officers or security involved, and let's make a scene out of it. I would have went a step further. I would have had a whole bunch of them come out and arrest Obafemi and take him out until at least SummerSlam when he's got to walk inside Hell in a Cell. WWE just left it like, hey, man, yeah, it's all right, man. Oba can attack Dallas police officers. Just hit his pose and shut the lights off. I don't know. Can you take it a step further and create some intrigue about what just happened? It was an effective enough segment. My question is, the last time we saw Hell in a Cell on WWE television was CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. And what they did inside Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood a couple of years ago was downright legendary. One of the best Hell in a Cell matches of all time is what CM Punk and Drew McIntyre delivered. Will Oba and Brock be able to step out of that CM Punk and Drew McIntyre shadow at SummerSlam? I don't know. There's a good chance that they could do it if they're given enough time. If they're allowed to use their surroundings and really make a memorable match. I want to see destruction. I want to see chaos. I want to see blood. I want to see two guys go to war, and I want to see one standing with the head of the other in the palm of their hand. That's what I want to see. You're building it up as such. The Beast versus the Ruler. And did Obafemi tonight officially just give up his championship match after winning King of the Ring? That's the way I took it. Boy, this company sucks. Thanks for making King of the Ring absolutely fucking worthless. Like Paul Heyman said, Obafemi, and we love Oba, but Obafemi is a dummy. He genuinely is a dummy. The Vision. Again, focused. Raw was focused. This version of the Vision, whatever this version of the Vision is, it ain't the Vision. The original version of the Vision was Paul. Look at how far we've fallen, chat. The original version of the Vision was Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and I'm even going to include Becky Lynch in that. That was the Vision. Now we're looking at Logan Paul, Austin Theory, Maxine Dupree, and Braun Breaker. Bronson Reed is still out with injury. He should be back hopefully soon. The Vision is minus Paul Heyman. Tonight, it was shown to us that Paul Heyman basically walked away from the Vision and wiped his hands free and clear of anything Vision related, as he looked at Maxine Dupree and looked at Austin Theory and said, you have her. Why on earth would you need me anymore? And he walked away. Now, what that means to me is that division is basically a failure. But what WWE did tonight was create some decent television. This is the best the division has looked in many, many, many months. This is probably the best the division has looked all year. And it came at the expense of Otis and Tozawa. By the way, Otis is from Minneapolis as well. So we could be looking at Gable and Otis winning tag team gold in Minneapolis. Or Gable, rather, winning IC gold, and then Otis winning tag team gold in Minneapolis. This is the best the division has looked all year. And it came at the expense of Otis and Tozawa. Now, I don't know what you guys thought of tonight's segment. I actually liked what they did. And we're going to get into that tonight. I actually liked what they did. I thought it was effective. And Otis is a great sympathetic character. I just don't know about Maxine Dupree and Austin Theory leading division while Bron Breakker's got to play fucking third wheel behind Austin Theory. He's basically Finn Balor, and this is basically a retread of the Judgment Day. It's basically what you're looking at. Austin Theory and Maxine Dupree are Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan all over again. Because this company doesn't know how to write captivating television. And Bron Breakker, how the mighty have fallen. This man was challenging CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship in the beginning of the year, and now he's standing behind Austin Theory as tag team champion. What on earth are we doing here? Get this man as far away from this group as humanly possible, give him Paul Heyman, and let this man destroy worlds. I don't understand why we are stopping the push of Bron Breakker. This isn't a push. You're keeping him stagnant, and you're failing him week by week. Focused. Chad Gable. He won the Intercontinental Championship Gauntlet match, which I thought was riddled with commercials, but largely very good from what we got. I don't really need to spend much time on how I feel about Chad Gable, because I've been saying it for months now, since he lost to Ludwig Kaiser in AAA, Mask versus Mask, El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano. Soon as he revealed himself as the OG Americano, this was a slam motherfucking dunk for Triple H. And if he got it wrong, then his head should be on a platter and removed from head of creative. Hopefully he knows what he's doing, and we get Penta and Gable, with Gable going over at SummerSlam. The easiest decision of his entire SummerSlam creative is Chad Gable. And they really did a great job building up Javon Evans. Javon Evans had a great showcase. If I look at the MVP of that gauntlet match, it is absolutely Javon Evans. And he is going to be a future Intercontinental Champion. We got Lyra and Bayley. Lyra has gone from Bird Girl to Bird Lady. She went from Bird Girl to the Bird Lady in Home Alone 2. That is her new gimmick. Legitimately. In look and in attire. And then we got Rollins and Reigns. Did Seth Rollins have a better week than he did last week? Yes, he didn't put Dallas to sleep tonight. He put Chicago in a fucking coma last week. But I don't know how you guys felt about it. They didn't really do anything to get me any more excited about their upcoming World Heavyweight Championship match at SummerSlam. We're going to go over everything tonight on what I thought was a solid episode of Monday Night Raw. Focused. They need to be focused. The only thing is, it's too little, too late. You're not going to generate enough interest for SummerSlam to get where you think you should be as far as filling U.S. Bank Stadium. And they only have themselves to blame. Thank you guys very much for joining me here tonight. We're going to go over this Monday Night Raw. We have a loaded chat here tonight. We got 2,200 in here, and Got a bomb already by my guy, Beantown. Thank you very much, Beantown. Appreciate you. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo, Patreon. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. The next SummerSlam match review poll will be going up after tonight's stream. I just got to put it up. And my VIPs over on Patreon, you vote for what we are going to review on Thursday. So look forward to that. Q&A also coming this week if I have some time as well. We'll get your questions out there and we'll get some exclusive content out for you guys on Patreon. Tonight we got the wheel. The wheel's back. You guys killed the wheel, the VIP wheel, on Friday night. More wheel fun tonight. If you guys reach the goal, we got 2 out of 10 so far. We need 8 more. If you guys reach the goal, everybody that donated for the goal will get an additional spin on the wheel.
All right. Got another matchup against a
Or
potential
additional
all-star
slot
tonight.
on the wheel.
Pete, what you thinking?
So let's have some fun with that. My guy, Tone C.
I am sick of you
He
too,
reached
bro. You
out
have
to
to
me.
do
We're
this
going to get
shit.
his shit mailed out tomorrow. Body.
Nah,
And it's
you know what
unhealthy.
I'm saying? I need separation
From
from some of these other all-stars. Gotta do something that, help me stand. I woke up in a zone today. I'm telling you, I can't miss.
Hey, saw the warm-ups, folks. He ain't lying.
Right. And I'm thinking I'll hit a couple of logo threes, get our guys going, and get the talking heads yapping.
From Oba Fett. Good promo. Solid stuff from Oba. I don't really understand why we needed the Dallas PD out there. Is Oba going to get arrested? Is he going to get suspended? Are we going to find out that Oba's in jail?
Keep away for the Ultras.
Officers, this man should have been on television tonight being carted away in handcuffs and placed in the back of a police vehicle. I guess ChatGPT didn't write that far out when they pitched this angle to the writing team today. I guess they stopped at Oba promo, is what I'm thinking. Good stuff. What more could you do? At least if Oba got arrested tonight, they'd be able to keep him off television because what else could they possibly do? What else could they possibly say? The next thing is a contract signing. We've already seen one tonight. I'm expecting one between Cody and CM Punk at some point in the next 3 weeks. This was an effective segment. It did what it needed to do. Paul Heyman wants to protect his investment. Paul Heyman wants to protect the money that he is potentially going to make. And he doesn't want anything to happen to this match. We were told that we were going to get a mini-series of vignettes between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins and their history leading to their big SummerSlam match for the World Heavyweight Championship. So we got Chapter 1. We got this thrown into the show at different points in the night. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, Chapter 1, The Shield. This was a very short Part 1. This lasted like 30 seconds, if that. Seth Rollins said, from day one, we set out to make history, and from day one, we did just that. Roman Reigns then comes in, and he narrates and says, we changed the way the games were played in WWE. And it hasn't been the same since. No shit. No shit. It hasn't been the same since. Thank you for telling me what I already know, Roman. Then they go to a graphic of Roman Reigns accepting, or actually, I'm sorry, it's the reverse. Jalen Brunson of the New York Knicks, the champion New York Knicks, accepting Roman Reigns' invitation to Saturday night's main event on Saturday at Madison Square Garden. What a shit card that is turning out to be. Is that worth the price of admission, chat? I'd be curious to know if any people in this chat are actually going to that Madison Square Garden show. If you are, like Paul Heyman said, a really, 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 really big dummy. I wouldn't give them a fucking dime. Not for that slop.
Oh, but JD, Danhausen is big and over in New York City, JD.
Yes. Gone are the days of the Hulkster and the Ultimate Warrior and Mr. Perfect and Andre the Giant and King Kong Bundy and Bret the Hitman Hart. All these fucking legends on Saturday Night, and now we got fucking Danhausen. The Knicks won the NBA Finals last month. WWE is still pretending like it happened last week. Man, they can't wait to ride the coattails of the New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden, clinging on to whatever relevancy they feel like they could have so they could be featured on ESPN next to Stephen A. Smith. I better be there, JD. You're a New Yorker, and TKO needs the sale, bro. You can find me at the bar across the street from Madison Square Garden. You won't catch me fucking dead inside MSG. Io Sky. We love Io. She went one-on-one with Roxanne Perez to open things up here on Monday Night Raw. We got a couple of super chats in here, man. We're 6 out of 10 on the goal. I see you guys. Man. The wheel. 4 more for the wheel. Let's see. Take the belt off Rhea. Vacate the title. Put it on the line. In the match that is yet to be announced, Charlotte versus Jade at SummerSlam. The winner becomes the new world champion on Friday Night SmackDown. And Charlotte Flair wins. How about that? I understand WWE. The reason why they haven't taken the belt off of Rhea, is because they know. Io needs to win the Women's World Championship. Liv Morgan holding the belt is awful. She hasn't done a fucking thing. The title is worse because Liv Morgan is the champion. She hasn't done a single fucking thing with the championship. Io wins. The only reason why they have Rhea as the champion is because they're hoping, they're praying, they are absolutely drooling at the fact that Rhea and Io could meet at Crown Jewel in October. That's what they want. At the end of October, they want, or beginning of November, whenever Crown Jewel is, they want Rhea and Io battling it out one-on-one for the Crown Jewel Championship, champion versus champion, and Rhea could get her win back. That's what they're holding out for. Meanwhile, SmackDown's got no champion. Tiffany Stratton is not strong enough as the United States champion to be featured on the show weekly. And Liv Morgan is a terrible champion. So what exactly are we doing here? I don't know. So like I said, Io and Roxanne delivering this type of match on Monday Night Raw in the open of tonight's show, yet Liv Morgan is still there as the women's champion. This was good stuff. Crowd was absolutely hot for this. Everything these ladies did, they were hot for it. Io sent Perez out to the floor with a big shotgun dropkick. Io went for her sliding dropkick through the ropes. Perez caught her, knocked her out with a forearm. She then tried for a suplex on the apron. Io gets out and slammed Perez down with a suplex on the apron. She then hits her Acai moonsault. Io then threw promo time with Division Dallas Terrible Champion. Io would have chosen Rhea, honestly. I wonder what the plan would be if everybody was healthy. If Stephanie was healthy, if Rhea was healthy, are we getting Io and Rhea, and we getting Stephanie versus Liv? We might very well be looking at that. But right now, everything is fucked up. Right now, we got no. A guy like Otis can't land a woman line reruns. We've seen this many, many, many times with Otis. We've seen this with Otis with Mandy Rose. We've seen this now with Maxine. And we've seen Otis even with Gable. Gable and Otis almost played this same thing where they used Otis as the sympathetic figure. Otis plays a great sympathetic figure. That much you gotta give him. The reason why this segment was so hot is because Otis is a fan favorite, whether you like to admit it or not. Otis is a great sympathetic figure when it comes to a situation like this. Otis is easily someone that fans want to support. Because Otis, even though he's a bruiser, and he's a big, burly guy, and he's fucking one of those guys that could destroy anybody on the roster, at the end of the day, he's a cuddly teddy bear. Everybody loves Otis. I don't think there's a single human being watching this show that would have a negative thing to say about Otis. It worked. Whether the vision is a failure or not, it worked. Whether Paul Heyman is there or not, it worked. Whether this was the Street Profits or the Judgment Day or any other tag team that is very far and few between nowadays in WWE, it doesn't matter. It worked because it was Otis. And I don't know how you guys feel about it. The fact that Otis is from Minneapolis and Otis and Tozawa are being set up for a tag team title match at SummerSlam against the Vision, I actually like that. I think that works. I think that's a good move. The only problem is we've seen this time and time and time again. Otis has been in the same storyline for all these years now. Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Chad Gable, Maxine Dupree.
The secret to that bold -196 taste?
Hold on.
Freeze them and crush them into a
long-term storytelling. I never got a sense that Otis was romantically involved with Maxine. Maybe once or twice. They didn't really kind of play that card up. They didn't really make that a focus of the storyline. They didn't make that a focus of the Alpha Academy. I always thought it was just Maxine, Otis, and Tozawa, because Gable wasn't there. I just thought that it was more Otis and Tozawa now leading Maxine to do the right thing because Gable's not there. Otis and Tozawa leading Maxine to become a professional wrestler, to make Maxine better. I didn't really get a sense that Otis was going to be wanting to be romantically linked to Maxine Dupree. Seemingly WWE pulled that card out and played it tonight. Which, again, is fine. It's just, we didn't really get a sense or a lot of that coming into this. But it worked. It worked. Now we're looking at a tag team title match at SummerSlam, which, to be honest with you, the sympathetic card that they played and the feelings that people now have seeing Otis get fucking betrayed by Maxine, who fans were chanting, you sold out, and Braun Breaker and Logan Paul and Austin Theory got some genuine heel heat. This is a tried and true angle. This is a simple enough story for fans to get behind and really make a large commotion, a really positive reaction when Otis and Tozawa win those tag team championships. And it fits right into what Triple H loves to do best, make a moment. Otis and Tozawa winning a tag team title in Minneapolis, in Otis's hometown. It works. It works. Whether you like the Vision or not, whether you like the Alpha Academy or not, whether you think this is good or bad, it worked. It worked. And I'm actually invested in what they got going on with this because I'm a fan of fucking Otis. I am a big fan of Otis. I think Otis is great. Otis has lasted in this company throughout all the budget cuts, throughout all the releases. Otis is still there. At some point, Otis is going to need a thank you. He's there. He's a good hand. A tag team championship title run with Tozawa is as innocent as they come. I think he's more than earned it. Survivor Series will take place announced tonight And earlier today on social media, November 28th, at the Daikin Park, when did they change the name of the Astros ballpark? When did this happen? Daikin Park? This is the home of the Houston Astros in Houston, Texas. They previously hosted the 2020 Royal Rumble. This is War Games, Houston. Man, I can't wait for another Bloodline War Games match. Oh, man! I can't wait for another Women's War Games match because the women need to have one. And I can't wait for it to come together in 2 weeks with no story. Oh, man, I can't wait. A Women's War Games match that includes Io Sky jumping off the top of the cage in her glorified War Games spot. Moonsault with a trash can! If I don't see story, if I don't see excitement, if I don't see violence, if I don't see blood inside the War Games, if I don't see something that resembles a war, don't even bother. Save your money. Save your money. What else are they going to do, chat? What else are they going to do? Is Triple H going to predictably have War Pigs from Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath as the backing theme for War Games, as if there's no other fucking heavy metal song that depicts war or is good enough to describe War Games? I can name 6. That would be great. It doesn't need to be a song that has war in the name. This is War by Alter Bridge would be one that comes to mind. That's just me personally. How about some Judas Priest? How about some Fear Factory? How about some Machine Head? You know, something that isn't Ozzy. Something. He'll probably go run right back to Nickelback as if that had anything to do with War Games. Fucking ridiculous. War Games needs to go the same way that Hell in a Cell went. It needs to go into semi-retirement, only brought out for when absolutely necessary. Slayer. How about some War Ensemble by Slayer? That's a good one. That's probably one of the better choices. Between me and you, War Ensemble. Can you imagine? I'm just getting chills thinking about it. Can you imagine a WWE video package with their fantastic video team and editing department with Slayer backing?
Well, my apologies end the video. I made it long enough. I don't make it too long. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. I will make more videos of NBA 2K26 my career. I will play Call of Duty 6. I will do the campaign and multiplayer. Not sure if I'll play Fortnite, but we'll have to wait and see. Until then, I'll see y'all later. Hit that like button.